Tips on how to read and understand people. Stoicism. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look beneath the surface. Let not the outward appearance mislead you." Imagine having the ability to truly understand what someone is thinking or feeling, not through mind reading, but by mastering the art of observing their words, actions, and body language. This skill can deepen your relationships, improve communication, and even help you navigate conflicts or spot deceit with confidence. On this journey, we'll explore practical insights from Read People Like a Book by Patrick King, offering tools to overcome obstacles, understand behaviors, and detect lies. Are you ready to unlock these secrets for personal growth and happiness? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know how understanding people has impacted your life. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life, where we bring timeless wisdom to modern challenges. Number 1. Overcoming reading obstacles. When you meet someone for the first time, it's incredibly tempting to make a snap judgment based on a quick glance or a few words they've spoken. But what if that quick judgment is completely off? What if you've missed something important, something that could change your whole perspective on that person? The truth is, initial impressions can often be misleading. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that someone who seems distant or aloof in a meeting is being rude, when in reality, they might just be introverted, preoccupied with something else, or facing personal challenges that you aren't aware of. We're all guilty of jumping to conclusions, but the real challenge is in overcoming those knee-jerk reactions and taking the time to pause and reflect. How many times have you misjudged someone based on a fleeting moment or appearance? It's important to understand that the behavior we see in others may be shaped by a host of factors, things like their mood, their past experiences, or even the environment they're in. By embracing this understanding, you can begin to look beyond your first impressions and avoid misjudging people. Take a deep breath and remember that context is key. Stoic secrets, like the wisdom of considering all angles, can help you avoid making assumptions that could affect your relationships and interactions. The second obstacle to reading and understanding people lies in oversimplification. It's natural for us to want to categorize people quickly into boxes, good or bad, trustworthy or untrustworthy. But real human behavior is much more complex than that. When you observe someone, especially in a moment of stress or tension, it's tempting to think you can easily predict their next move based on past experiences or the way they present themselves. But human beings aren't as predictable as we might want them to be. To truly understand someone, you need to resist the urge to label them too easily. For example, someone who seems angry might just be frustrated with a situation, not necessarily an angry person by nature. People are dynamic, shifting in their moods, reactions, and behaviors depending on a multitude of factors. By avoiding the trap of simplifying someone's actions into a one-dimensional stereotype, you'll begin to see them for the complex, multifaceted individual that they truly are. Have you ever misunderstood someone because you relied on a simple label to define them? By resisting that urge and being more patient, you'll not only grow as a person, but you'll also enrich your relationships and your understanding of others. Another challenge comes when we fail to listen, really listen, to what others are saying. Too often, we're thinking about what we're going to say next, or we're distracted by our own emotions and biases. When this happens, we miss out on the deeper meaning of what's being communicated. Active listening requires focus, empathy, and presence. It's not just about hearing words. It's about trying to understand the emotions and thoughts behind those words. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where you were so focused on your own response that you didn't fully hear what the other person was trying to communicate? When you slow down and give your full attention to the speaker, something amazing happens. You start to understand them in a way that goes far beyond surface-level conversation. You can pick up on subtle cues like body language, tone, and emotion that add richness to what they are saying. You'll be able to respond more thoughtfully, and you'll find that people open up to you more, sharing parts of themselves that might have remained hidden otherwise. The Stoic practice of mindfulness teaches us the value of being present and fully engaged in the moment, helping us to connect with others on a much deeper level. The final obstacle in understanding others is projecting our own feelings onto them. We all do it. We assume that others are thinking, feeling, or reacting in the same way that we would in a given situation. But here's the thing. Everyone has their own internal world, and it's not always the same as yours. You might assume that someone who is quiet is sad, but they could just be deeply content or simply lost in their thoughts. You might assume that someone who doesn't smile much is upset, but they may just have a neutral facial expression. By projecting your own emotions and experiences onto others, you close yourself off from the possibility of truly understanding them. This is where the Stoic secret of keeping a clear mind comes in, reminding us not to impose our own assumptions onto someone else's experience. To wrap up, learning to read and understand people is a skill, one that requires patience, practice, and a willingness to look beyond surface-level impressions. It involves being aware of our own biases, slowing down to listen deeply, and remembering that everyone has their own unique perspective and experiences. The next time you meet someone new or engage in a conversation, remember that the more you open your mind and heart, the more you'll learn about the person standing before you. By avoiding the quick judgment trap, resisting the urge to simplify complex personalities, listening actively, and releasing projections, you'll build deeper connections with others. And when you apply Stoic secrets, you'll approach each interaction with greater clarity and insight, strengthening your relationships and deepening your understanding of the people around you. In the end, isn't that the kind of connection we all seek? To make more accurate assessments of others, it's essential to first lay a strong foundation based on 4 key prerequisites: understanding their baseline behavior, recognizing patterns, considering the context, and questioning your own biases. Patrick King introduces this framework, emphasizing that without knowing a person's typical ways of acting, thinking, or reacting, we cannot accurately gauge their behavior in any given situation. This baseline behavior serves as the foundation upon which we can identify deviations or inconsistencies. For instance, consider a person who is usually calm and composed. If they suddenly react angrily in a particular situation, understanding their usual demeanor allows us to view this outburst as an anomaly rather than a characteristic trait. Without this baseline, we might mistakenly assume that their anger is part of their usual temperament, leading to a flawed judgment. In life, such understanding can prevent us from making hasty or harsh assessments based on a single isolated incident, especially in a world where people are quick to form opinions based on first impressions. Recognizing behavioral patterns is another critical element. Human behavior is rarely as simple as a one-time reaction. Instead of judging someone solely on one instance, such as a quiet moment in a conversation, we must observe whether this behavior is consistent over time. Just because someone is silent in one meeting does not mean they are always withdrawn. By looking for patterns, we get a clearer picture of their true nature and can make more informed judgments. A single act should not define someone's character or intentions. It is much like the concept of modern Stoicism, which teaches us not to react impulsively or emotionally to situations. It encourages us to take a step back and observe how circumstances and people behave over time, rather than making snap decisions based on fleeting moments. Another vital consideration is the context in which the behavior occurs. We often make the mistake of interpreting someone's actions as rude, aggressive, or inconsiderate without fully understanding the environment or circumstances influencing them. In a busy or stressful situation, a person may appear impatient or curt, but this behavior might simply be a result of external pressures. Perhaps they've just experienced a personal setback or are overwhelmed with responsibilities. By being attuned to the context, we can avoid jumping to conclusions and instead approach the person with empathy and understanding. This insight is especially important in today's fast-paced world, where people are often dealing with multiple stressors simultaneously. The modern Stoic principle reminds us that we are not always in control of our external world, but we can choose how we respond by remaining patient and open-minded. Lastly, questioning our own biases is crucial for accurate judgment. We all bring our own beliefs, experiences, and assumptions to our interpretations of others. These biases can cloud our judgment, making us more likely to project our own emotions, beliefs, or insecurities onto someone else. The ability to pause, reflect, and challenge our own assumptions is a powerful tool for gaining clarity. Often, we interpret someone's behavior through the lens of our personal experiences, which may not align with their actual intentions. For example, if we've had negative experiences with individuals who behave a certain way, we might be quick to assume that someone else exhibiting similar behaviors is acting with the same negative intent. This is where the wisdom of ancient Stoic teachings is invaluable. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In other words, when we take a moment to question our biases and assumptions, we allow ourselves to respond with rationality and fairness, rather than reacting emotionally. In today's world, where first impressions often rule, these guidelines are essential for navigating complex social interactions. The pressure to make quick judgments can often lead to misinterpretation and misunderstanding. But if we practice patience and adopt a framework for evaluating behavior, we can develop a deeper understanding of others. By recognizing patterns, considering the context, and questioning our own biases, we can move beyond surface-level judgments and foster more meaningful, compassionate relationships. This process not only enriches our personal connections, but also aligns with the teachings of modern Stoicism, which encourages us to observe, reflect, and act thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. By applying these principles in our daily lives, we can gain greater insight into the people we interact with, leading to more harmonious and respectful relationships. One of the most frequent mistakes we make when attempting to read and understand people is the tendency to leap to conclusions based on limited information. A lack of enthusiasm might be interpreted as indifference, but it could simply reflect a low-energy personality or an internal struggle we're not privy to. Similarly, when someone furrows their brow during a presentation, it's easy to assume they're in disagreement when, in reality, they might just be focused on processing the material. These assumptions often stem from our natural inclination to simplify complex human behavior into convenient interpretations. But this habit overlooks the nuance and depth of human interactions. Another common pitfall is neglecting the broader context of someone's actions. For example, a colleague who seems distant might be facing personal challenges that have nothing to do with their job or their opinion of you. Without considering these factors, we risk misjudging their character or intentions. Furthermore, our own biases color our perceptions. If we carry a suspicious mindset, neutral behaviors may seem dishonest or deceptive to us simply because of our preconceived notions. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This reminder calls us to focus on controlling our reactions and interpretations instead of hastily projecting assumptions onto others. To navigate these challenges, modern Stoicism encourages us to approach situations with deliberate patience and reason. A crucial strategy is to pause and analyze the broader picture, rather than reacting impulsively to surface-level cues. For example, before concluding that a peer's reserved demeanor signals aloofness, consider their potential workload, personal stressors, or cultural differences that might shape their behavior. This mindset of stepping back to gain clarity echoes Epictetus's teaching. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. By truly observing and listening without the interference of our biases, we can begin to uncover the genuine motivations and feelings behind someone's actions. This doesn't mean overthinking every gesture or word, but cultivating the wisdom to discern when further understanding is needed. In modern life, where fleeting interactions often dominate and quick judgments are incentivized, these principles are more critical than ever. The pressure to make rapid assessments, whether in professional settings, social media exchanges, or personal relationships, can lead to significant misunderstandings. By applying Stoic tenets such as mindfulness and objectivity, we can rise above these pitfalls and foster more meaningful connections. For example, if someone sends a curt email, resist the urge to attribute malice. Instead, reflect on what external factors might have influenced their tone. Modern Stoicism not only emphasizes this reflection, but also teaches us to practice empathy, recognizing that every individual is navigating their own challenges, unseen by us. Seneca wisely observed, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," a reminder that much of our distress stems from assumptions rather than facts. To truly understand others, adopt an attitude of curiosity and humility. Approach every interaction with the recognition that there's always more to learn about the people around you. A practical exercise is to ask clarifying questions or reframe your thoughts about someone's behavior before jumping to conclusions. For example, instead of thinking, "They're ignoring me because they don't care," consider, "Perhaps they are preoccupied or need some space right now." This subtle shift can prevent unnecessary conflicts and deepen mutual respect. By consistently reflecting on your judgments and questioning their validity, you align yourself with the Stoic ideal of wisdom, the pursuit of truth through thoughtful consideration. Reading and understanding people is as much about understanding yourself as it is about observing others. Your interpretations are shaped by your experiences, emotions, and biases. By acknowledging these internal factors, you empower yourself to engage with others from a place of authenticity and fairness. In a world where misunderstanding often leads to unnecessary division, practicing these principles not only strengthens personal relationships but also contributes to a more harmonious society. As you strive to avoid these common pitfalls, the key lies in balance, cultivating awareness of others while refining your own perceptions. In doing so, you embody the spirit of modern Stoicism, fostering clarity, connection, and inner peace in a complex world. Which of the three obstacles we discussed resonates with you the most? Is it the challenge of avoiding quick judgments, the importance of understanding context, or the need to overcome personal biases? Comment 1, 2, or 3 to share your thoughts. And don't forget, the next 3 points we'll explore in this video are packed with insights and surprising revelations that you won't want to miss. So stay tuned to the end for even more powerful tips to enhance your understanding of people. Number 2, understanding behavior. Understanding human behavior can feel like deciphering a code, complex yet incredibly enlightening. At the heart of every action lie the secrets of motivation, personality, and external influences. Motivations, often hidden beneath the surface, stem from subconscious urges, emotional needs, and the unique tapestry of life experiences. They silently guide a person's priorities and reactions, shaping the way they navigate challenges or respond to triumphs. Take, for instance, the Stoic secret of focusing on what we can control. Understanding motivations helps us see how others make their choices, even when they may seem irrational at first glance. But motivations don't work alone. Personality acts like a filter, determining whether someone approaches the world with the energy of an extrovert or the introspection of an introvert, whether they're quick to display emotions or keep them tightly guarded. These traits don't just color behavior, they frame how people engage with everything around them. And then there are the external influences, our environment, cultural norms, and social expectations, which can often dictate behavior as much as our inner world does. Picture a colleague who is reserved at work but vibrant at a casual gathering. That transformation isn't random. It's a reflection of their adaptability to different settings. A modern example can be found in social media. Have you ever noticed how someone who is quiet and thoughtful in person might project confidence and charisma online? This discrepancy tells a story about external pressures and the curated personas we adopt to fit into certain spaces. The same principle applies in real life, where people adjust their behavior to align with expectations, sometimes revealing and sometimes concealing their authentic selves. Let's consider a relatable scenario. Imagine you're in a cafe observing two people in conversation. One is animated, gesturing passionately, while the other listens intently, nodding at intervals but saying little. What does this interaction reveal? The animated speaker might be driven by the motivation to be heard, perhaps influenced by a need for validation or a deep interest in the topic. The listener, meanwhile, could be naturally reserved, comfortable in their role as an observer, or perhaps their silence stems from cultural values emphasizing respect over interruption. This dance between motivations, personality, and environment offers a glimpse into their inner worlds. But how often do we pause to ask ourselves, what is shaping their behavior at this moment? Understanding these dynamics requires curiosity and empathy. What happens when someone acts out of character? Do you judge or do you consider the pressures they might be under? By viewing behavior through the lens of Stoic wisdom, we can separate what is within a person's control from what is imposed by external forces. This perspective not only deepens your understanding of others, but also teaches you to respond with greater patience and wisdom. The next time you encounter a puzzling interaction, try to decipher the why behind their actions. What might they be prioritizing or protecting? And how does their behavior reflect their environment or internal state? The ultimate lesson here is simple but profound. People are shaped by forces both visible and invisible. When you approach interactions with a mindset of understanding rather than judgment, you gain insight not only into others, but also into yourself. This awareness allows you to connect meaningfully, avoid unnecessary conflict, and respond with the equanimity that the Stoics championed. The next time you reflect on someone's behavior, ask yourself, what motivates them, and what external pressures are they navigating? In doing so, you'll uncover a powerful Stoic secret. Understanding others is not about control. It's about clarity, connection, and cultivating a calm, insightful mind. The motivations behind people's actions often lie hidden beneath the surface, shaped by subconscious impulses, deeply ingrained fears, or unmet desires. To truly understand someone, we must look beyond their outward behavior and into the roots of their decision-making process. Many of these motivations are tied to universal principles, such as the pleasure-pain principle, which dictates that humans instinctively seek pleasure and avoid pain. This drive can explain why someone might cling to a job they despise out of fear of financial instability, or prioritize fleeting comforts over long-term aspirations. It's not just about survival instincts. Maslow's hierarchy of needs reminds us that human behavior progresses through layers, from the pursuit of basic necessities like food and shelter, to more profound goals such as self-esteem and personal growth. Recognizing where an individual falls on this spectrum can illuminate their choices, such as whether they are focused on security or striving for self-actualization through creativity or relationships. Another powerful driver is the need to protect the ego. People often act defensively when their sense of self-worth or status is threatened, deflecting blame or resisting vulnerability to safeguard their identity. For example, someone might criticize another's success not out of malice, but because it exposes their own insecurities about unmet ambitions. In the context of modern Stoicism, this understanding becomes even more relevant. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what is within our control, our perceptions and reactions, while accepting that the motivations of others are often beyond our grasp. Instead of becoming frustrated by someone's actions, we can strive to see them with clarity, recognizing that their behavior is rooted in their unique internal struggles. This mindset not only helps us navigate personal relationships, but also equips us to approach modern challenges with a balanced and understanding perspective. As Epictetus observed, men are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. Recognizing the motivations behind actions allows us to detach emotionally and respond with reason rather than impulse. In today's interconnected world, understanding the motivations behind people's actions is crucial. Whether it's deciphering a colleague's defensive reaction during a meeting, or recognizing why a loved one hesitates to take a bold step toward their dreams, this awareness fosters more compassionate and constructive relationships. Just as the Stoics advocated for self-mastery and insight, applying these principles to understanding others enables us to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and serenity. By integrating the timeless teachings of modern Stoicism into our daily lives, we not only deepen our connections with others, but also nurture our own sense of purpose and equanimity. Personality serves as a dynamic guide to understanding behavior, illuminating the patterns and tendencies that shape how individuals navigate the world. It profoundly influences reactions to situations, making it a cornerstone of interpersonal understanding. A calm and steady personality, for instance, often exudes composure even amidst chaos, while a more reactive nature may manifest in visible frustration or anxiety. Recognizing these traits is akin to reading a map. Consistent behavioral patterns reveal valuable insights into how someone is likely to respond to new challenges. Consider the individual who procrastinates yet thrives under pressure. Their last-minute successes may signal a reliance on adrenaline-fueled focus, contrasting sharply with the meticulous planner who derives security from preparation. This ability to discern and adapt to such personality-driven tendencies enriches interactions, fostering deeper connections and minimizing misunderstandings. Moreover, personality traits such as optimism, assertiveness, or empathy play critical roles in shaping relationships and responses. The optimist, characterized by their resilience and enthusiasm, often meets obstacles with a spirit of possibility, while a pessimist might greet the same hurdle with caution or skepticism. Recognizing these distinct outlooks can guide how we approach others, encouraging harmonious interactions and more effective communication. The empathetic individual may prioritize understanding and connection, providing support in emotionally charged scenarios, whereas assertive personalities might lean into leadership roles, taking decisive action when clarity is most needed. In modern life, such insights are particularly valuable. In a world defined by rapid change and diverse personalities, understanding these behavioral patterns empowers us to navigate relationships with sensitivity and purpose. Modern Stoicism teaches us to remain objective, applying logic and discernment to interactions without allowing emotional judgments to cloud our perspective. When dealing with a person prone to skepticism, for instance, presenting facts calmly and rationally may foster trust, while an overly optimistic individual might appreciate encouragement tempered with practical considerations. By aligning our approach to another's behavioral style, we create an environment conducive to mutual understanding, bridging differences with empathy and wisdom. Through this lens, personality becomes a tool for connection rather than division. By observing and adapting to the diverse ways people react to stress, joy, or adversity, we enhance our ability to predict outcomes and respond effectively. In doing so, we honor the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control, our own thoughts and actions, while skillfully navigating what lies beyond it, the unpredictable behavior of others. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Applying this principle, we can better engage with the intricate spectrum of human personality, finding harmony even in the midst of diversity. In this way, modern Stoicism offers a timeless framework for understanding people, strengthening relationships, and cultivating a serene, resilient mindset amidst the complexities of contemporary life. Which personality trait resonates most with how you approach life? Calmness, optimism, or assertiveness? Comment calm, optimistic, or assertive below. And don't forget to watch until the end. There's much more to uncover, including 3 surprising insights that will deepen your understanding of human behavior. Stay tuned. Number 3. Reading body language. Nonverbal communication is the silent but powerful language of human interaction, often speaking louder than words ever could. It's expressed through body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, gestures, and posture, offering insights into a person's true emotions, even when their words suggest otherwise. Words can be rehearsed, manipulated, or even outright dishonest, but nonverbal cues are instinctive, often revealing truths that someone might not want or even know how to share. For instance, imagine someone nodding in agreement but crossing their arms tightly and leaning away. Their posture and gestures signal discomfort or resistance, even though their words say yes. Similarly, fleeting micro-expressions, those brief involuntary facial movements, can betray hidden feelings. Picture a friend who says they're fine while forcing a smile. If their eyes show sadness or their lips twitch nervously, their unspoken truth begins to emerge. These small, often overlooked signals are key to understanding what someone is truly feeling, and they're everywhere, waiting to be noticed. Consider the importance of eye contact. Steady, genuine eye contact often communicates confidence, trust, and engagement, while avoiding it might suggest anxiety, avoidance, or even deceit. But there's nuance too. Some people naturally find prolonged eye contact uncomfortable, especially in cultures where it's considered impolite or overly assertive. Posture also tells a story. Someone leaning in during a conversation is likely showing interest and openness, while a person sitting back with crossed arms may be signaling defensiveness or disengagement. Even subtle things like how someone positions their feet or angles their body can reveal their comfort level. For example, if their feet point toward the door, they may subconsciously be preparing to leave, no matter how engaged they seem verbally. A modern example of the power of nonverbal cues can be seen in how we communicate through screens. Have you ever been on a video call with someone who nods while you're speaking but frequently glances at their phone or keyboard? Their words might say, "I'm listening," but their actions scream distraction. Or think about social media, where body language is replaced by emojis, punctuation, and tone. Even in this limited context, subtle signals, like a curt response or delayed reaction, can reveal frustration, sadness, or disinterest. Observing these cues, even in digital communication, sharpens your ability to read between the lines and respond thoughtfully. Let's apply this to a real-world scenario. Imagine you're at a family gathering, and a relative tells you they're fine after you ask how they're doing, but their voice wavers slightly and they avoid making eye contact. You notice their shoulders are slumped, and their tone is softer than usual. This combination of nonverbal signals paints a clearer picture than their words alone. Understanding these clues gives you the opportunity to gently probe further, showing care and empathy. Similarly, in a professional setting, you might find yourself presenting an idea to a colleague who nods and says, "Great," while glancing at their watch and leaning away. The mismatch between their words and behavior suggests they're disengaged, or perhaps distracted, giving you a chance to adjust your approach or ask if it's a bad time. But how can you develop this skill? The key lies in observation, patience, and practice. The Stoics emphasize the importance of mindfulness, focusing on what is within our control. Nonverbal communication aligns perfectly with this philosophy. By observing without judgment and interpreting cues with an open mind, you can respond to people in a way that fosters understanding and connection. When you focus on what others are truly communicating, beyond their words, you build stronger, more authentic relationships. The Stoic secret here is learning to interpret the subtle interplay between what is said and what is shown. It's about being present, calm, and thoughtful, even in the face of ambiguity. Nonverbal communication, when understood, becomes a bridge to deeper connections. It allows you to navigate misunderstandings, offer compassion, and adjust your reactions based on the reality of a situation, not just the surface. The next time you're in a conversation, ask yourself, what are they really saying? What emotions or intentions lie behind their words? By tuning into this silent language, you not only improve your understanding of others, but also cultivate a greater sense of awareness in yourself. This is one of the most profound Stoic secrets, being attuned to the quiet truths of human interaction and responding with calm, clarity, and care. Nonverbal signals are a powerful, often overlooked language that reveals the emotions and intentions behind a person's actions. These cues, such as body language and subtle gestures, often provide insights that words might hide. Stress indicators like fidgeting, nail-biting, or shifting weight reveal discomfort or anxiety, even when someone appears composed. For instance, someone nervously tapping their fingers during a conversation might unconsciously signal unease or insecurity about the topic. In more intense situations, instinctive fight, flight, or freeze responses surface. A flight reaction may manifest as avoiding eye contact or leaning away. A fight response might show as clenched fists or aggressive gestures, and freeze can appear as stiffness or a lack of movement. These physical cues are rooted in primal survival instincts, offering a direct window into someone's emotional state during tense moments. Mirroring is another key component of nonverbal communication. When someone unconsciously mirrors your gestures or posture, such as crossing their arms when you do or leaning forward in sync, it often indicates connection, empathy, or agreement. This subconscious behavior builds rapport and trust. Conversely, the absence of mirroring or an increase in physical distance can signal discomfort, disinterest, or even disagreement. Recognizing these signs allows for deeper, more nuanced communication. By paying attention to these cues, we can better interpret unspoken emotions, enabling clearer and more empathetic interactions. The Stoics, who valued observation and self-awareness, offer timeless guidance for understanding nonverbal cues. Epictetus's insight, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak," encourages us to focus on observing rather than reacting. Modern Stoicism extends this wisdom, urging us to detach from snap judgments and view these cues as neutral information to better understand others. For example, rather than taking a colleague's defensive body language personally, a Stoic mindset allows you to calmly consider their perspective, fostering communication without emotional escalation. In today's fast-paced and digital world, nonverbal communication has become even more essential. Subtle gestures and body language can reveal unspoken concerns or emotions, especially when words fail to capture the full picture. Noticing tension in a coworker's posture during a meeting or understanding a loved one's avoidance of eye contact as a sign of stress rather than indifference can make a significant difference in your relationships. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you cannot control," is a helpful reminder in interpreting these signals. While you can't control others' behavior, you can choose your response, remaining calm and empathetic. Developing the ability to read nonverbal signals enhances your ability to connect with others and navigate relationships with greater clarity. Integrating this skill with the principles of modern Stoicism creates a powerful combination: a deeper understanding of others paired with the self-discipline to manage your reactions. When you encounter someone displaying anxious or defensive body language, consider their perspective. Are they acting out of fear, insecurity, or external stress? This approach allows you to respond with compassion, turning challenges into opportunities for connection. By honing your awareness of nonverbal cues and applying Stoic principles, you can approach interactions with patience and insight. Whether it's recognizing tension in a professional setting or identifying empathy in a personal connection, this skill helps build stronger, more meaningful relationships. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and responses, while acknowledging that others' behaviors stem from their own struggles. Combining these practices not only improves your relationships but also equips you to navigate the complexities of modern life with balance and wisdom. Speech and appearance are 2 potent windows into understanding people, revealing their emotions, personalities, and even intentions. The way someone speaks, be it confidently with a steady tone or hesitantly with a wavering voice, offers immediate clues about their internal state. A composed and measured speaker often exudes authority and self-assurance, while rapid, stumbling speech may betray nervousness, uncertainty, or even an attempt to obscure the truth. The rhythm, tone, and cadence of a conversation act as subtle signals. A slow and deliberate manner of speaking might indicate thoughtfulness or caution, while hurried or erratic speech can reveal anxiety or excitement. Beyond speech, appearance adds a crucial layer to understanding. How people present themselves, from their choice of attire to grooming habits, often reflects their self-image and how they wish to be perceived. For instance, someone dressed neatly and professionally may be expressing a respect for structure and authority, whereas casual or unconventional attire might convey comfort with individuality or a resistance to conforming to societal norms. These elements of personal style, coupled with the tone and manner of speech, form a tapestry of cues that can help decode a person's true emotions and intentions. In modern life, where interactions often occur across cultural and social divides, learning to interpret these signals effectively can deepen our relationships and enhance communication. As Marcus Aurelius advised, observe constantly that all things take place by change, reminding us that appearances and expressions are often shaped by external factors, such as mood, context, or environment. A confident speaker in one setting might appear less assured in another, while someone dressed casually in a relaxed situation may adopt a more formal appearance in professional contexts. This variability underscores the importance of interpreting speech and appearance not in isolation, but in conjunction with the surrounding circumstances. A well-groomed individual who seems hurried in speech might be preoccupied with responsibilities, while someone speaking softly with casual attire may simply value a relaxed approach to life. The key lies in observing patterns over time, rather than making hasty judgments based on a single interaction. Modern Stoicism, with its emphasis on reason and observation, provides a valuable framework for this practice. By training ourselves to observe without rushing to conclusions, we cultivate an objective understanding of others. For example, if someone constantly speaks with enthusiasm and dresses sharply, they may value ambition and precision, while another person's laid-back demeanor and unstructured speech might reflect a preference for freedom and authenticity. As Epictetus remarked, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This wisdom highlights the value of attentively listening and observing, allowing us to better comprehend the nuances of both speech and appearance. Incorporating these insights into daily life can strengthen personal and professional relationships, helping us to respond thoughtfully and empathetically. By recognizing that a person's speech and appearance often mirror their inner world, we gain the tools to connect on a deeper level. A nervous colleague struggling to articulate an idea may benefit from encouragement, while a meticulously dressed acquaintance expressing assertiveness might appreciate collaboration that respects their sense of control. Through these thoughtful adaptations, we align our responses with the needs of others, building trust and understanding. The ability to read and interpret speech and appearance is a skill honed through patience, observation, and reflection. Modern Stoicism, with its emphasis on mindfulness and rationality, encourages us to approach this process with an open mind and a steady focus. Observing speech patterns and presentation not only enriches our understanding of others, but also reminds us of the shared humanity that underlies all expressions. As Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay," a principle that applies equally to forming judgments about others. By pausing to consider the deeper meanings behind speech and appearance, we transcend surface-level impressions and develop a more profound appreciation of the people around us, fostering relationships rooted in empathy and wisdom. Body language often speaks louder than words. Have you noticed that someone's actions speak louder than their words? Comment, "Yes, I have," below. And don't stop there. There's more to explore, especially the surprising number 4, lie detection, at the end of this video that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned. Number 4, detecting lies. Detecting lies is one of the most intriguing yet challenging aspects of understanding people. Lies come in many forms and serve many purposes, sometimes to avoid conflict, sometimes to protect feelings, and other times to manipulate or deceive. The tricky part is that not all lies are created equal. and neither are liars. Nervous liars often betray themselves with telltale signs like shifting eyes, fidgeting, or a change in tone, while skilled liars, those who are calm, composed, and even rehearsed, can seamlessly deliver a convincing story without breaking a sweat. This is why relying on a single behavior, such as avoiding eye contact, isn't enough to detect deception. Some people naturally find it hard to maintain eye contact even when they're truthful, while confident liars may lock eyes with you to appear more credible. The key lies in recognizing patterns, subtle inconsistencies, and changes in baseline behavior. If someone who is usually relaxed becomes unusually tense when questioned or offers excessive details to fill gaps in their story, those might be clues worth examining. To illustrate, imagine a coworker who missed a deadline. When asked what happened, they confidently explained that they were stuck in traffic, giving precise details about the time and location. It sounds plausible, but then you notice that their voice tightens slightly, and they avoid answering follow-up questions directly. These shifts, however small, can be signs of discomfort or an attempt to maintain control over the narrative. Skilled liars rely on such techniques, offering polished responses while avoiding spontaneity. However, even the most adept liars can falter under pressure. A simple yet effective way to test this is by asking unexpected questions that require them to think on their feet. Genuine responses tend to flow naturally, while fabricated ones might come with a pause or contradiction. Another way to detect lies is by paying attention to microexpressions, those fleeting facial movements that reveal a person's true feelings before they can consciously hide them. For example, someone might smile while denying wrongdoing, but a flash of fear or guilt could momentarily cross their face. These moments are easy to miss unless you're observant, and mastering this skill requires practice and patience. Tone of voice also plays a crucial role. A sudden rise in pitch, stammering, or an unusually flat tone could signal anxiety or an attempt to suppress emotion. But here's an important question to ask yourself. Are you judging based on stereotypes, or are you truly listening and observing with an open mind? Sometimes the desire to catch a lie can cloud your objectivity, leading you to misinterpret honest behavior as deceptive. A modern example of this is online communication, where body language is absent, and liars rely solely on words. Have you ever received a suspiciously detailed email explaining why someone couldn't meet a commitment? The over-explaining, combined with vague emotional cues like exaggerated sincerity, can sometimes feel off. In these cases, analyzing the consistency of their words, timelines, and even the tone of their writing can help you uncover potential deception. But even in face-to-face interactions, it's crucial to remain calm and collected. The Stoics believed in controlling our reactions and focusing on what we can truly discern. This is one of the great Stoic secrets of understanding people. Instead of jumping to conclusions, approach deception as a puzzle, piecing together subtle clues without letting emotions cloud your judgment. The most valuable lesson in detecting lies isn't about catching someone, but understanding their motivations. Why are they lying? Is it out of fear, insecurity, or malice? When you focus on the why, you gain clarity and can respond with wisdom rather than confrontation. Lies often reveal as much about a person's state of mind as the truth does. The next time you suspect someone of being less than honest, ask yourself, what patterns am I observing? Are there inconsistencies in their behavior or story? By staying curious, perceptive, and calm, you'll uncover another powerful Stoic secret, mastering your own reactions while skillfully navigating the complexities of human behavior. Detecting deception is a skill that requires careful observation, patience, and strategic questioning. One of the most effective techniques is to encourage the person to speak openly. Lying is cognitively demanding, and the more a person elaborates on their story, the harder it becomes for them to maintain consistency. Open-ended questions, such as asking someone to describe details about a place they claim to have been, like the atmosphere, sounds, or specific actions, can expose gaps or contradictions in their narrative that they haven't prepared for. Subtly misquoting them can also be an effective tactic. When someone corrects a false detail, they may inadvertently reveal inconsistencies or create new ones. Behavioral observation is another powerful tool, as liars often betray themselves through changes in tone, body language, or facial expressions when under pressure. For example, they might fidget more, shift their posture, or pause unnaturally while speaking. Additionally, liars tend to overcompensate by adding unnecessary details to their stories to make them seem more believable, whereas truthful individuals typically provide straightforward, unembellished responses. The Stoics emphasize the importance of discernment and rational thought, principles that align perfectly with detecting lies. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This focus on integrity underscores the contrast between truth and deception, reminding us to approach such situations with clarity and reason. Modern Stoicism, with its emphasis on observation and self-control, encourages us to remain calm and analytical when evaluating others' words and actions, preventing emotions from clouding our judgment. By staying composed and attentive, we can better recognize the subtle signs of deception without reacting impulsively. In today's fast-paced and highly connected world, the ability to detect lies is more relevant than ever, as both personal and professional relationships often depend on trust. Whether it's navigating a tricky business negotiation or assessing the sincerity of a personal interaction, understanding how to identify inconsistencies helps protect your interests and strengthens your connections with others. Watching for over-explained stories, unnecessary details, or behavioral shifts can give you the tools to discern truth from falsehood. Seneca's timeless wisdom, "Every guilty person is his own hangman," reminds us that lies often unravel naturally when met with patience and careful observation. Modern life, with its rapid pace and constant distractions, often tempts us to rush to conclusions, but modern Stoicism reminds us to slow down and embrace deliberate reflection. Just as Marcus Aurelius encouraged us to be tolerant with others and strict with yourself, we must practice patience in reading others, holding ourselves accountable for observing without prejudice while allowing others the space to reveal themselves naturally. This mindset not only aids in detecting deception, but also fosters stronger relationships by showing respect for the other person's complexity. In practical terms, this might mean paying closer attention to nonverbal cues, such as a sudden shift in posture or an unusual tone in response to certain topics, while resisting the urge to prematurely confront or accuse. Furthermore, patience in these situations aligns with the principles of modern Stoicism, which emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own reactions and observations, rather than forcing others to conform to our expectations. This philosophy teaches us that the goal is not to trap someone in their lies, but to understand the truth of the situation for what it is, enabling us to make better decisions. For example, if a colleague appears evasive about a missed deadline, patiently observing their behavior and asking open-ended questions may reveal whether they are hiding negligence or dealing with an unspoken personal issue. The truth often emerges when we give people the room to speak, and when we attentively observe the contradictions between their words and actions. Detecting lies is less about confrontation and more about cultivating awareness, patience, and the ability to read the subtle interplay of verbal and nonverbal communication. Seneca's timeless advice to hold every hour accountable serves as a reminder that careful observation takes time but yields clarity and insight. By combining the principles of modern Stoicism with practical patience, we not only improve our ability to discern dishonesty, but also enhance our capacity to understand the complexities of human nature, fostering trust and wisdom in our interactions with others. As we wrap up today's video on tips on how to read and understand people, remember that understanding others starts with observing their baseline behaviors, considering the context, understanding motivations, and paying close attention to nonverbal cues. Like any skill, this takes time and practice, so approach it with curiosity, an open mind, and respect for the complexities of human nature. Everyone is telling a story through their words and actions. By learning to listen and observe more closely, we can foster deeper connections, navigate relationships more effectively, and grow as individuals. What's one tip from today's video that resonated with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights on personal growth and living with wisdom. See you next time.